Hi, and we're back. Okay, so I have one job after doing the other two series that we did in the Cowgirl Christmas and looking over them and editing with my daughter. I am supposed to work on facial expressions and not saying ah. So here we go. I am Chris King with Pampered Sisters, and this is the third installment on the Cowgirl Christmas. We've done Lottie the Gambler, we've done Stagecoach Mary. Lottie is the first soap, Tennessee Tobacco is the second, and now we're going to do Fiery Nights. And without further ado, let's get to making soap. Okay, now we're going to do the third soap, which is Amanda Knight Burks. The name of the soap is going to be Fiery Nights, and I will go into why we named it that and who it is after when I'm doing putting it in the soap mode. Okay, I am going to try and not talk while I am mixing it, so therefore I can mute, or my daughter can mute the blending of the soap when we get to that part. So hopefully I'm doing this right. I got a new holster for the iPad, and it looks like it's shaking, but hopefully it's not. Anyway, we are using Night, let me see if I can do this, Night Watch from Muddy Soaps, okay? And it's going to be colored with, I did a blend, okay? I used this blender. Let me show you. I ordered this blender. Well, it was gifted to me by a fellow soaper, this blender. And I did a blend. I hope you can see it because I wanted that to look like midnight. And the blend is of Mad Oil, Black Oxide, and Chris and Sassy. They're out of business. I have bought a lot of this, but this is the gray that I wanted to use, and I'll show you the gray, kind of a bullet color, and then also from Soapbox Micas, this, okay, and that's how I got that midnight color, okay. And then I also used Mica for the fire. It's going to be lemon drop, and a sunset. I'm not even gonna try to say that, a sunset, okay? And so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to blend it with the oils that I have, and I've already added my kaolin clay and all of my oils, and so now I'm gonna blend it, and then after I blend it, I will come back and start mixing it. Okay, so now I'm gonna add the fire. These are supposed to be the flames. bit. Okay, so now that I have that, I'm gonna do this as an ender pot. And this is going to be the bottom layer, the flames. Okay, this is going to be the flames. Okay, yeah, this is going to be the flames. Okay, so while that is getting a little bit of I want to get a little bit thicker, so I'm going to do this one now. And this is going to be the night sky. This is going to be the night sky. And what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna add this blend that I made. So it looks starry. Gonna come over here now with this, and I'm just gonna go in a circle with this, and then I'm gonna go up and down and all around, and I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna pour it all in because this is going to be the flames on the bottom. So, I'll show you how this looks. Okay, so we're gonna put this in. I'm just gonna go back and forth. Tell you a little bit about Amanda. Okay, it's Estelle Amanda Knight Burks, and I'm gonna let this sit a second, y'all, because we gotta pour the rest on. It's Estelle Amanda Knight Burks. Okay, and so she was one of the first women on the Chisholm Trail. The Chisholm Trail was used post-war, Civil War, to drive the cattle overland from ranches from Texas to Kansas. They didn't have, the railroad wasn't complete yet. They were working on it, but this was the Chisholm Trail. And she earned the nickname Cattle Queen of Catula. The cattlemen on the trail loved her, no matter what she did, and which was good, because she started a campfire once and burned 50 miles of prairie, okay? And so the reason why I called it the Chisholm Trail, the Fiery Nights, is because she started this fire at night and all you could see was the fire, okay? The fragrance that I'm using has notes of leather, weathered with age, frosted pine notes, and crow, blackwood smoke, and cedarwood, which is perfect, for what she did. She, started a fire in the prairie, and you know, she started a fire and she burned it, and they still loved her. And no matter what she did, she was still always welcome to come back and ride along on the Chisholm Trail. Not very many women could make it on that trail because it was so long and it was hot. It was very uncomfortable. There was no RVs back then. There was just wagon trains and horses, and that was it. And so this is named after Amanda Burks, and it is called the Fiery Nites because that's what she did. So now I'm going to pour night over this. Let's see if I can do it right so that it does not lay. I'm not good at this part right here. I get impatient. Let me see if I can do it right. I think it's gonna lay a little bit. It's gonna dip a little bit, but not that much, which is okay. Okay. So let me get the rest of it. And this is so pretty. God, this smells so good. And I'm not usually a fan of anything with pine in it, but it does smell good. You know, I don't feel so bad. When I was first married, I started a fire in the kitchen. I had no idea what I was doing. When I was married, newlywed, young newlywed, and I had learned how to cook on a gas stove, but when I got married to my ex, he was in the military, and we lived in our first home that we rented. There was an electric stove, and I thought a stove was a stove until we went to Fort Hood, and I tried to cook Thanksgiving dinner, and I didn't know that, well, I tried to light the stove, y'all. That's just, and I was looking for the pilot, whatever you call it, inside the stove, and of course there wasn't one. And so there you have it. So anyway, this one is called Fiery Nites after Amanda Burks because she started a fire. You know, she must have had to been some looker for these cattlemen to have still like her and still invite her back. I mean, think about it. They did not have fire trucks back then. They had no way of putting out that fire without just using whatever water they had on hand and buckets. And if there was a well close by. And they had no way of doing, you know, they couldn't just call. They couldn't even cell phone. They didn't even have that back then. But yet and still, she was appreciated and, you know, always asked to come back each year. So she must have been a looker for them to, you know, or they didn't have very many women on the trail, and so I guess, I don't know, but I don't know if I would be asking somebody that started a 50-mile fire to come back the following years to participate in the trail ride. But you know, I wasn't back then. Anyway, I will see y'all on the cut. I am going to cut Fiery Nites. Now, this was the initial, the way the sample was. Let me see if I can get the sample out for y'all. This is the sample. I nicked it a little bit. This is the sample. I don't know if you could see that, but I was supposed to do it in a drop swirl and then instead of it being yellow and orange, it was supposed to be orange and yellow, like the flower, and this is supposed to be midnight blue and have this on top. Well, I didn't do a drop swirl. I did an in the pot swirl. I realized that after I poured it, and so let's see how it looks. But the other ones I did are drop swirls. So some people will get in the pot, some people will get drop, but it will all look the same. Anyway, here we go. It smells so good. Okay. Ooh. Okay. It's not as much of the, I do see the flames. Do you see the flames? You see how it came out? But I didn't, there was more, if you'll see, there was more nightfall, okay, on the other one. But I do like the way the flames came up, and it looks like it had overtaken the prairie like we talked about. But like I said, the other one will be a little bit, oh, this is nice. Look at that. See, stars on the top. Can you see it? Let me see. Yeah, okay. Ooh, look at that. It did come out. It needs to be a little bit more bluer. Now when I finish it, bevel it and everything, look at that. That came out really nice. It smells so good. Look at the flames. I like that. I like it. Now, it doesn't look, like I said, some of the other ones will look more like, but it does look like, doesn't it look like the flames came up over the prairie? My estimations of the way I do, now see, this is how it's supposed to be, this. I see how far down that came. That's how it was supposed to be. But I guess when I was pouring it, it didn't. See, that's perfect right there. See how that one was? And I don't know, I guess when I was pouring it, I didn't pour as evenly. See how that is right there? That's how that was supposed to look. Let me cut these. There you go. And so these will be on sale. This is Fiery Nights, and it will be on sale November the 1st at 6 p.m. See you for the next one. Bye.